Hello all. Just come back from a weekend away, as I said in the last video. As you can see, I'm with Stephanie, and we're just on our way over to pick up her new car, which she's bought from a friend of mine, which I'll explain about in a minute. So when we was looking round, Stephanie decided to buy a categorised car, which at first, what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I don't really know much about cars, but I wasn't sure because I've heard, like, obviously, I know that categorised cars will have previous, damage, or they've been written off. So I was a bit, I wasn't sure. I didn't know much about it.
So basically how it works is when a car gets damaged in an accident, if the insurance company deem the repairs to be too expensive, so it outweighs a certain percentage of the value of the car is written off. And there's two basic categories, which I've got a special guest appearing in this video, so he will explain a little bit about the categories on cars. But buying a categorised car is generally a lot cheaper, but you've got to bear in mind it'll lose a bit of value when you come to sell it. But there's no sort of major dramas with it. But when we get to where we're going to pick Steph's car up, we'll explain a little bit more. Also, another thing what people need to think about when buying a car is mileage. So previously, would you consider buying a high mileage car?
No.
Why?
Because, I don't know, in my mind, the more miles a car's done, the less, I don't know, that makes less valuable.
Yeah,
I don't know if that makes sense.
So that's a good answer. And the answer you give is what pretty much everybody would say. They think buying a high mileage car is a bad thing.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah.
It all comes down to how the car has been looked after. So I'll give you an example. As I've mentioned previously, that Steph is my son's girlfriend. So my son Thomas, he passed a couple of years ago, and I had a 2015 Fiesta diesel, which I bought when it was a year old in 2016. And when I bought it, it had done 28,000 miles. And I kept it up until 2021, when it had done about 160,000 miles, but it still drove absolutely fine. But the car got rear-ended and was subsequently written off by the insurance company as a Cat S, which is a structural damage car. So because I knew the history of the car, it had been serviced really above and beyond what was required because of what I do for a living. I keep my car well serviced. It was too good to let it go. So I bought the car back off the insurance company, and the chap we're going to see in a little while, where Steph bought her car from, repaired my son Thomas's car. So the car he's got now is my old car. Might sound confusing. So not only has he got a Cat S Fiesta, which has been written off previously, but also it's now done nearly 180,000 miles, which is really, really high mileage. But because of the way the car has been looked after, it still drives like a car which is 2 years old with 30,000 miles on it. It drives absolutely fantastic. So don't let high mileage put you off. As you all know, most driving instructors probably do 30,000 miles and upwards a year, and all instructors keep their car well serviced. So all the cars I've had over the years I've always sold on to either ex-pupils or family members, and they've never had problems. You can buy a low mileage car which hasn't been serviced correctly and drive really bad and be really unreliable. So for you all, again, don't dismiss a car with high mileage. As long as it's been serviced regularly and you've got a fully stamped up service book with also ideally invoices and receipts as well. So you've got proof of that servicing being done. A stamped up service book, you can't always believe it. If you've got the invoices to back that up, then you can't go far wrong. So just a little bit of information there about buying a car. But the main thing is history.
So it's more about the care of the car than the miles.
And like with the car you're buying, we've done an MOT check, and the MOT history on the car is very good. The only advisories it's got on it is a couple of tyres here and there, and brake pads being slightly low, serviceable items. So nothing really structurally wrong with the car, which is why we've gone for it. But the car Steph has bought is a Cat N, which is non-structural, and you paid a lot less than what you get one off of Auto Trader, a non-Cat car.
Yeah.
But you will see the car on this video shortly. So tell us what you think. So if you've got any questions about buying high mileage cars or categorised cars, drop me a message below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Hope this helps. Speak soon. Cheers all. Everyone, you all recognise Stephanie from Group Chat and some of the other videos. Pick up a new car from Mark at Resurwreck. As you know, or most of you will know, Mark does a channel on YouTube, Resurwreck Autos UK. Give him a look up. What Mark specialises in is buying salvage cars, which a lot of you are frightened of. So Mark's just going to tell us a couple of little bits and pieces about buying salvage. So Mark, the risk of buying salvage cars?
Well, there's no risk really, as long as you can see how it's been repaired. Because obviously a Cat N car is non-structural, Cat S car is structural. This one was a Cat N, which have a very light scratch on the back bumper, very, very light. But as long as you can see someone repairing the car, there's no reason why you can't buy a category car, Cat N or Cat S. But yeah, it's...
So people are frightened about losing money buying a Cat car.
You're obviously going to buy it a little bit less than what a normal retail car would be anyway, because it's normally about 20% less or 25% less. So the value don't really change as long as the person that's selling the car is honest. Because if the person's not honest with you when you're buying a car, then they can tell you that it's not got a category against it, or it's not been crashed, and they'll try and get the high value out of you for it. So as long as that person, and it all comes down to trust. You've got to be able to trust someone that's telling you the truth, the ins and outs of obviously the repairs and what's been done. So yeah, there's always that difference in value compared to what it should be worth a straight car or category car.
I mean, if I was to advise you lot, if you are buying a categorised car, you need to see, like Mark just said, you need to see the repairs being done, rather than just seeing the finished product. I can just show you quickly. Mark is just doing another full KA, and there's no damage on this one. This is not a Cat car. Basically, it's been part exchanged with a broken gearbox, so Mark's going to replace that. So that's not a non-Cat car. He's got this little Renault Modus. Is that a Cat S or Cat N? This one's a Cat N, so it had no structural damage. So when you insure a Cat car, Mark, do you need to notify your insurance?
No, because the insurance company, as soon as you put the registration of the vehicle in, the insurance company knows that it's been put back through. It's the insurance company that puts them back through the system. Yeah, because the insurance company sells them to guys like us to fix. So they know, as soon as they put the registration in, they know the condition of the car, and it doesn't have any effect on insurance whatsoever. Which
I can back up, because Mark repaired my blue Fiesta a couple of years ago, which was a Cat S, when I got hit up the back. When that car's got plenty of history on this channel. I bought it in 2016 when it's a year old, with it's now done 180,000 miles. It's a 15 plate Fiesta, and Mark's been servicing it now for about 4 years. Yeah. And they've done the repairs all on the channel, and the car is like a new car. So really minimise the risk. Go with somebody that you know you can trust. When we insured Tom's car, there was no change in insurance at all. So there you go. You can buy yourself a car a lot less money than a full retail. And like Mark said, when you come to sell it, just be prepared you're going to get less for it, but you've paid less for it in the first place, so there's no risk really. Anyway, I'm going to shut this bit down. Thanks for your time, Mark.
No problem.
But don't forget, guys, follow Mark on Resurwreck Autos UK, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like and subscribe. Here's Stephanie about to get into a new car, and we'll speak to you later. Cheers all. Hi all, we just got back from Mark's. Steph is now the proud owner of her new car. I'm just going to show you now, because I'm not sure if I put it on the video with Mark. I can't remember now, can you? With the damage. So basically what Mark did with this car, he bought it from Copart. Just going to take you round. And on this car, Mark actually didn't need to repair the damage, which you find strange because it's a Cat N. So I'm just going to go round now. And everything is very, very straight. So as you can see, it's an 11 plate car, and the damage is there on that bumper, that scuff. So why the owner put it through insurance, I will never know. But basically, what the insurance company do is they look at the value of the car, and then they price in the cost of a new bumper from Ford's with all new bolts, brackets, screws, whatever it needs, at retail prices. So the time all that is done with the labour and the cost of respraying the car, it's probably well over £1,000 to get it repaired, which is why it's been written off as a cut-in. It's ridiculous. Crazy, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to shut this part of the video down, and what I'm going to try to do at the end of this video is I'm going to put some pictures of a couple of cars that Mark has done. The blue Fiesta is my son's, that got written off, which is now used in the game. It was written off when I owned it, when I was on a lesson. The red Fiesta, which you will see is my son's temporary car because his blue one got stolen. So we bought this red salvage car off Mark, then his blue one got found, so basically we resold the red one, is now back in the blue one. Hope that makes sense. Anyway, I'm going to sign this video off. Speak to you soon. Don't forget, guys, as always, drop comments, and please like and comment and subscribe. Cheers all, bye bye.